So I'm sure most of us, and I hate to say recent because it's happened right now as I speak, but most recent case of police brutality that happened to make it to the mainstream news, the mainstream media in Austin, Texas. Those cops, should say terrorists, because that's what those cops were. The way that those terrorists, those cops, conducted themselves for a man walking against the light, and I get it, it's a tickable offense. You can give a citation for it. But the fact that y'all can assault, punch, choke, jump a man like y'all did in that video, and what some of these cops are doing, makes me sick to my stomach. And you want to label us, people in the streets, citizens fighting back, you want to label us as the rebel. You want to label us as the outlaw. You want to label us as the problem when we stand up to the police brutality. I'm not okay. And those people in that video handled it a lot better than I could have. The fact that those cops did it, I get it. It's over. It's done. But the big picture we're missing here is, do those cops still have their job? Do those cops are still serving and protecting? Okay, it happened. It happens all the time. I get it. But America, those cops should be fired. They should have to deal with the consequences of assaulting a man. The law is in your favor as a police officer. Without that badge, you're nothing. Without that badge, you're scared. And, you know, these cases in which police brutality does happen, the overall picture that I see, that I'm trying to get to, is that these cops still have their job. That those cops were not fired immediately for assaulting a man. I don't feel safe knowing that these police get away with what they get away with. And it has to change. And I get it, we have to do our part as a society. And I get it. And we're our biggest problem. That's one thing you have to your advantage, America, that you can say is, as a society, we're our biggest problem. I get it. I understand it. You have to have these cops to enforce your laws. But the fact that when it does happen, when police brutality does happen, and it comes to light, and we're starting to witness what some of these police officers are, the fact they still have their job is the overall problem here. And they want to label, again, us as a society, people, the voice, they want to label us as the problem and as the outlaw. Some of these cops are the biggest criminals. Some of these cops are terrorists. And a lot of these cops are not having to answer to the consequences of what they are really doing. And you know what? You're lucky. It is in your favor. You're lucky that y'all can get away with the most. But it's got to change. You got to start firing these officers who are responsible for the police brutality, and to any officer who does do police brutality, who has done police brutality. Without that badge, you're scared. And just know you're lucky that the law is in your favor. But it's got to change, America. You got to start firing these officers immediately. There should be no question asked, and they should be booked for assault. It needs to be taken to court, because these cops are some of the biggest problem, America, and they should have to answer, just like I would have to answer if I did it.